everybody, it's Lady Kaylah here, and welcome to the Geekdom. Today I'm going to do The Golden Compass by Pullman, which is book 1 out of 3 for his Dark Materials, and I just love how they label it, because I like to do a lot of used bookstore shopping, and used bookstores typically don't have complete sets of any series, and a lot of the time, I don't know why, the books don't label that it's book 1 or book 2 or that it's part of a series at all, and it's just so confusing. I have a couple books that are just laying around that were part of a series, and I just had no idea until I actually researched the book. And also awesome about these, they look brand new, and they're just beautiful. 75 cents at a used bookstore for all 3. They actually had the complete set this time. But anyways, getting into the review, I don't know what time period I would say this book is set in. I would say more modern. It's definitely not medieval fantasy, and also it's not heavily influenced with magic. It's not like high fantasy with elves and dwarves and wizards and all that. They have kind of like a theological magic and mythology sort of, but it's not very prevalent. We don't really find out much about it until the very, very end. And then we have the demons that these characters, all the humans in this world, have a demon, and it's basically a creature that's a part of you that takes animal form, and it's able to change that form up until you hit a certain age. I guess when you become an adult, the animal sets into one form, and that's what it is permanently. So that's the extent of the magic. So it's definitely not a very heavily magically influenced world. And as for the story, I mean, the story is pretty solid, and it's progressive. You're definitely given bit by bit, and it evolves, and it everything starts to fall into place. And yet at the same time, at the end, I kind of felt unsatisfied. I felt like we weren't given enough, and I didn't find out everything that I wanted to find out. But then again, there are 2 more books, so I can find out more. So it's not done bad at all. I'm not doing a spoiler review, so the story it wasn't done bad at all, and it's like a children's novel sort of, except there are very, very dark parts, so I really don't know what kind of age group it's geared towards or going for. There's gore, there's just bits of information that are kind of really messed up, and other than that, we are given everything through a child's eyes. And what's brilliant about this book, and I just have to give nothing but praise about it, is the main character Lyra is done brilliantly. Given what we know about her, she's not lowborn. She's actually has good social status on the social ladder or whatever, and yet she was raised without parents. She was kind of adopted and kind of half-assed, taught by many different professors and men of learning, and everything makes sense for her character. Everything that we're given for her comes out through her character, and it's done brilliantly. It's done really, really well. The way she's wild, and she wasn't growing up with much discipline, and she's and yet she's smart because she grew up in the place of learning, and she's just she's totally an independent person. She's just the way she thinks is just brilliant. She's very clever. She's very just her own person, and I love it. And I love how there's no black and white with her. It's not oh, I'm goody two shoes, I know what's right, or oh, I'm bad and this is evil and stuff like that. It's just nothing like that at all. And she lies when she needs to. There's times where she's not sure if she should trust the people she should. So you see her like thinking and the gears turning and how she's gonna get out of the situation that she's in, how she's gonna like maneuver and make the situation her own if she possibly can. And I think it's brilliant. I think the main character is just done so well. And there are parts where, you know, I feel like a little like, because she's like a little girl and we're getting everything through her, she processes things differently, and as a little girl, so that kind of just influences the way you see the world. And so you're definitely seeing the world through her eyes. It's sometimes you can see it through your eyes and make your own inferences, but there's sometimes where it's very heavily just her version of what she sees, and that's what you get. So it's really interesting to see that. And I don't know where it's going to go for the future books. I'll have to see. I'm definitely interested in seeing it, but this is definitely like a unique read. Like, I don't think I've read anything like it. And so I don't, like, it's very hard for me to like place it or compare it to anything in order to give you guys a more solid review. I just think it was really done really well. Even though I'm reading through a child's eyes, I don't feel like it's necessarily like a children's novel or anything like that. Like, so it's really hard to place. I'll have more to say as I read the rest of the books, and by the time I get to the third book, I'll definitely have a solid say on what I've read. So thank you for your time. This is just the first book. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you need to contact me outside of YouTube, all the information is in the description below. My Facebook, Twitter, all that, Tumblr, Instagram, all that down below. Thank you for your time. Bye.